last session we picked up as the Hand of Aegis sailed into Delsmer. And you were greeted by another large bloody paw print on the harbour wall, and the smell of iron in the air. Smokey bids farewell to Adard and agrees to join up with the Hand of Aegis for the time being. Claire gets a letter saying that she needs to head home. Her mother is sick, and after briefly talking to Adard to find the best way north, she hurries off to town to go find a ride. Lots of health potions are purchased. Everyone in the group now has 2. Bardor grunts happily. Apparently I felt that was important enough to put in my note.
It's the first time it's happened.
Yeah. And so finally the Hand of Aegis head towards the Court of Bofin. The group returns back to the court and meets with Olwyn, who asks them to help and then tells them that they're not ready for it. Says that the threat feels stronger and they should probably resupply before taking on this task. So we pick up with the Hand of Aegis preparing to leave the Court of Bofin. And I think for ease, we will just sort of hand wave things and say you have returned back to the gates of Delsmer, and you're deciding where to go. So on that note, where would you, as it were, like to, how would you say, go?
I wondered, poo-poo this if people like. I wondered if, because it's going to be a little bit in and out as people join and leave from the group, whether we could just assume that we're all sort of bouncing around the town of our own accord, looking, and occasionally run into each other at the same places in some ways. That way we can sort of make sense of why people are with people. It's because they happen to be passing the same place at the same time or whatever, or going in somewhere. Does that seem reasonable? And that way we can sort of not have to feel like, well, the logistical trickiness of why people are out with other people and then suddenly out with other people again and all of that.
Yeah, when Spencer gets here, just put him somewhere and be like, what are you doing here at the Fulworth, Spencer?
Yeah.
You came here for specific something.
Ah, Poirot, what are you doing here in Cairo? I always remember that. What was that? I guess that was Murder on the Nile, probably.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I heard motor on the Nile. Like he's just taking a boat.
No wonder he was confused why he was there. Okay, so, well, in that case, let's start with Smokey.
See?
So it is the 4th of Ukhtar. We'll say it is midday. So, do you want to go first, or do you want Esker to go first? I'll give you the choice.
I could go first. It's fine.
Alrighty.
So I'm choosing where I want to go shopping. Is that what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I mean, really, the sort of tasks ahead of you. If you feel like you need supplies, because not everybody does, I think, is accurate. So if you feel like you need supplies, then get supplies. If not, then there's research you can do, or catching up with people, or whatever. There's options.
Okay. I would like to go somewhere and purchase some of these silver darts that we discussed.
How many darts do you have currently?
Currently, it looks like I have one dart.
One dart. Okay.
I think I just have one because I have it written down as dart, and then I don't have a number next to it. So I'm wondering if it's just the one.
Just the one left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's grab you guys and just. I've the first person I grabbed was Gethin. Oopsies.
This episode is just what Gethin does today whilst we're all going shopping.
Gethin sits there, grabs a bit of meat, feeds it to the bird. An hour passes. Okay, so you would know that. I mean, the first place you should check is Semlin Smith House. He's kind of been your primary port of call for weaponry. So that seems like a solid first stop.
Okay. I also don't feel it's necessary to roleplay that out.
That's fine.
So there.
So here's what Semlin says.
I guess I'm just saying that to say that that's really all I want to do, and I'm not going to be asking too many questions to any of the shopkeepers or anything. So,
Smokey, you're not asking questions. What?
For the record, she will not see Eska there. Because Eska doesn't go in Semlin Smith House.
Not if she can avoid it. And she's done a very good job of avoiding it. Alright, hold on one second. I need to...
I guess he's more likely to run into Silvarius than Eska.
Wait, Silvarius, he has his weapon already.
I don't know.
True.
You could want armor or something, although, you know, I suppose that might be a bit greedy.
he got given some armor, didn't he?
He's got very good armor too, yeah.
You're OP.
I'm just P enough.
Mega tank. Oh.
Okay, here we go. Alright, hold on. Sorry everybody. Sorry. Oh,
I need to return my rental armor.
Oh,
yeah.
Was that from Semlin?
Yeah.
Good shout. That is important. Otherwise, you will be persona non grata.
I think if I remember rightly, Claire gave you hers as well, right? To return with it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. She would never forget that.
She wouldn't have
if
gone off with
anybody
that. Actually, maybe it's more
that
amusing
part
to
at
think
least is
that
true.
she did wander off of it, but she probably would have remembered when she had to take it off to put on her regular armor.
Yeah, she went and got her stuff, and when she's changing, she's like, God, I hope Silvarius remembers. A
Yeah.
big oath.
Yep.
What on earth? Where? Sorry, I'm trying to find the right page in my book, and I'm failing miserably. Ah, there we go. I'd gone too far. Okay, I'm nearly there. I'm there. Okay, so darts are very cheap. Regular darts, very cheap.
Excellent.
5 coppers.
Okay.
So, you could easily grab 20 regular darts.
All right. 5,
Now-
and they're 5 coppers each.
Yeah, so 20 darts, 5 coppers each. That's only 1 gold. If I've mathed that correctly.
Okay.
Now, here's a caveat, however.
Okay.
That is not silvered darts.
Okay.
So silvering darts cost money.
Some real
quite
money.
So, to silver 20 darts would be, let me think about this.
2 gold.
No.
I'll do the math for you. Don't worry.
It's definitely not 2 gold.
3, fine.
I like his math.
It would be 1 gold apiece to silver it. Ironically, it's 1 gold to silver dart.
Okay. So in addition, or is that total?
So that would be so it would be 21 for 20 gold darts, 20 silver darts.
Okay.
So what basically it's 1 gold, 1 silver for it's
It'd be
1
22.
gold, 1 gold, 5 copper.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What?
21.
Yeah, 1 gold, 5 copper for a silver dart. He'll have to spend some time silvering them because they don't come pre-silvered. So he's literally got to melt down some silver and coat it onto the dart. So he'll need some time, but you can do that. That's fine.
Okay. How much time would he
same
need?
day.
Okay. What if he did 40?
Right. 40 would take about twice as long. So let's say
you still get them
2
done the
hours.
same day. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I would like 40 darts silvered then.
Okay. So that'll be 42 gold.
Okay.
You're just trying to get a lifetime supply here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just throwing money away.
What you should do is just get
I gotta
one
do
dart
some
silvered.
math here.
Get one dart
Minus
silvered, tie a piece of string
42.
to the back of it, and then when
Yeah.
you throw it, just reel it back in.
6,
It's like the movie Prey.
5,
Oh, I haven't seen that.
We put a
456.
rope on our hand
Okay.
axe and we'll throw it,
And then
hit a
put-
target, and yank it back.
4,
Yeah.
5, 6.
Who needs magic powers when you've got string?
And that means I now have 40 darts.
Otherwise, she just ignored you completely.
Yeah.
Yep. I had to do math. I need to drown everything else out. Oops. That's not what I wanted. I'm going to put a number here so I know
That's
how
a
many I
miss.
have. 40 darts.
And make sure it's silver darts.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
you could
You're
get
right.
non-silver
You're right.
darts.
Yep.
If you want, you
Silver
can grab some of those too.
darts.
Since you're there. It'll start weighing you down eventually, but that's an option too if you want it. Let's see, how much do they weigh? Quarter of a pound. That's quite heavy.
Well, darts aren't tiny.
No, but quarter
Not
of a
like-
pound is some weight.
Yeah, it's not like...
Not like the little
So-
throwing darts.
40 darts is 10 pounds.
Oh, my.
That's not insignificant.
No.
I mean, I know I
I guess
play
it
a
is
little
an
bit.
iron dart.
Yeah. I play a bit loosey-goosey with, encumbrance, which is to say, I don't look at it whatsoever.
I still can't
But,
really... I can't still really envision what darts in this sense are, if I'm being honest.
No, I think that's fair.
Would they be kind of like the little metal rod just with a larger kind of almost like a throwing knife, but
Uh-huh.
real tiny?
Yeah.
One of those
Yeah,
with
either
the rings
that-
on the end.
Oh, yeah, that would make
Or,
sense.
I mean, it could be literally like
A dart.
a dart, like yeah. Because I feel like hold on, are you familiar with the game Slay the Spire?
No.
I know of it.
There's a card in that called flechettes. Yes, flechette is a pointed, fin stabilized steel projectile, which it comes from the French, meaning little arrow or dart. So yeah, it's like a fully metal dart. So it has a little fin at the end, but that's also made of metal. But it stabilizes it when you throw it.
Interesting.
But I remember that the card looks like just regular old darts.
Mhm.
So a silver
So
dart
that's
still 1d4 plus
Yeah, the damage.
my dex.
Yeah, the damage doesn't change.
Okay.
What it does, silvered weapons are able to bypass certain resistances of certain creatures. Another option is moon. What is it? Moon. I always forget. It's not moon kissed. It's moonlit. No, moon. Anyone remember?
No.
Moon touched.
Could be moon touch. Basically, yeah, something like that. That makes the weapon count as magical for the purposes of bypassing resistances, even though it offers no other bonuses. So it makes it a magical weapon without doing anything else, essentially. It's a +0 magic weapon. But again, useful because there are things that have resistances, like barbarians, for instance. Your silver daggers would not, or darts would not do anything to a barbarian, whereas a moon-touched blade would.
Hmm. Unless it was a barbarian werewolf.
Well, sure, then, yeah.
Are they double?
Oh, absolutely, then.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question, and I think that's why the general advice is to not give player classes or player class levels to NPCs.
Yeah, it gets
Because
confusing.
then you run into issues like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, does Smokey need anything else? You've got 2 hours-ish before you need to be back. Is there anything you want to research? Anything you want? Anybody you want to talk to?
He would like to then go and sit. Okay, he wants to go and sit and see if he can overhear people talking about what they've been seeing to gain a little bit more information. So he wants to go sit down and have some ale and listen, ale or mead, and listen, just kind of listen into conversations. So would he know where the best place to go is, or would it just be kind of a hit and miss?
Well, okay. So that depends on... are you looking for information specifically about the paw print?
Maybe a little bit of... I guess either some information about the paw print or about the boar activity.
Okay. So for the paw print, you'd probably want to go to either a tavern in the docks or a tavern by the west gate, since that's where the 2 paw prints are. Currently. As far as the boars, you would need to try and find some people who have business out in the woods, which might be a bit more of a challenge because that's a bit hit and miss.
What was that merry group of rapscallions that Eska ran into?
Oh, out in the woods?
Yeah.
I haven't talked to them yet, though.
Oh, just a little breadcrumb.
Yeah. We don't know if they could be really good, they could be really evil, we're not sure yet.
We're in South Delsmer?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you've come back in through your favorite south gate. All right, Angie, you have a think about which way you want to head.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll move on to Eska.
Eska wants to try and find bows and arrows, mostly.
Okay. Well, there's one place that you know of from the past.
That would probably be a first port
that's
of call.
available. Yeah. So that would be heading to the Pickled Quipper.
Yes.
You know, it's a little way across town.
Yeah.
And when you head in there, you get that amazing sense of peace. You're not sure if there's some sort of enchantment at work, but when the door closes, the hustle and bustle of the city kind of quiets. Not completely, but it does quiet. And he's got a little candle burning that seems to be giving off a nice woodland smell. And it just it feels like you're out in the woods despite being in the heart of the city. And you see, in my head, I have a recollection of Almas being a wood elf.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Almas there, behind the counter, just seemingly just chilling, relaxing. Seems, untroubled at this time. Doesn't really glance up as you come in, to be honest.
Oh, I'll take the lot then while they're not looking.
They would look if you tried that. I can guarantee it.
Oh, okay. In that case, I shall wander up to the counter and say, "Hello, I'm back, and possibly looking for an upgrade. We have work to do in the woods."
Welcome back. Oh my goodness, I have immediately opened onto my page. That is staggering.
I didn't know you were
Better
reading.
than
Sorry.
daggering.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's quite all right. As I said when we first met, you're always welcome here. I intended this place to be something of a sanctuary amidst the chaos that is the city. You can come here whether you have a pressing business need or not. So, you said you were looking for some sort of upgrade on your bow, and kind of glances at your bows. Ah, yes, I remember.
It has
A fine
served,
bow indeed.
yes, it's served me very well, but the creatures we need to deal with now are made of sterner stuff.
I see. Well, as far as more powerful options, currently I only have the two from before. No one has purchased them as of yet. But there may be something else we could figure out too. So there's this one, and gestures to a rather resplendent oak bow that has an oak symbol, sort of like where you would grip it. This one is the Stalker's Gambit, is how it has been known. I didn't name it, but I think I would have gone for something a little less dramatic. But it is rather pricey. That one is currently listed at 7,300 gold pieces.
Escapades.
For reference, it is it's a +2 elven crafted longbow, which deals it's on every strike it does 1d8 necrotic, and on a crit it deals an additional 1d8 poison. But quite pricey. Alternatively, as he kind of gauges your reaction, I do have this one. This is the bow of Volante. If you recall, Volante was
a local hero.
A local hero, indeed. Defeated one of Grazit's Mariliths using this very bow. So this one is a +1. Glows in the presence of demons. Grants the once you're attuned, it grants you the ability to speak and understand Sylvan. This one is 850 gold. If, however, we're still thinking a little bit pricey, I do have other alternatives. Depending on what you're up against, we do have some arrows that have been treated various different ways that would potentially grant you some additional potency.
I'm curious to hear.
Hold on. For instance, we have ones that would just do additional damage. So in this case, basically he has some that are +1, +2, and even he has a handful of +3 arrows. Yeah, you could we have different ones. Obviously these ones, just to the +3, these ones are rather pricey. These arrows are 500 each for the top ones. These ones, gestures to the +2. These are 250 each. Sorry, 200 each. My mistake. And then these ones, gestures to the +1s. These ones I would sell I usually sell these as a quiver of 20 for 300 gold.
Hmm. Oh, well, while I'm here, did you say you had, did she say she had, silvered arrows as well?
That hadn't come up. No.
Okay, wasn't sure if I missed it while noting. Do you have any silvered arrows at all?
Yes, I do have a few. And kind of rummages. Not very popular
No.
option. But here, and grabs out. I have 10 here that would be available for.
I imagine you almost have to give them away. They're so unpopular.
Well, you would think, wouldn't you? However, what I have found is that items such as these are largely redundant until they become incredibly necessary. I could be persuaded to part with these for 50 gold.
For
Total.
for how much? For
10.
Okay, great. Oh, while we're talking arrows, I picked
Yes.
up these rather fine arrows somewhere underground, and I've always been curious if they have any properties beyond normal. I figure somebody with your expertise might be the person to ask. And she'll pull out Axebeak arrow.
Axebeak arrow.
She'll sort of knock the dust off of it and pull it out. I wasn't sure if they're just, very finely crafted, or if they are particularly sought after for any reason. But I hadn't come across any before.
Oh my goodness, when did we get these?
This was back when we went down. I think we found them maybe in the chest in the purveyor's study.
They are non-magical arrows. They're just well crafted, but they have no bonus to hit, but have a +2 to damage.
Okay. So Eska will just say, thank you. Thank you for the information. I think what it would be best if I do is talk to our money keeper and see what the rest of the group feels, and come back later in the day to get whatever they feel is necessary, because some of these are a big investment, so I do not wish to
Quite. No, I understand. Do you have a leaning? I only ask just so that it seems unlikely, but should someone come in asking for a specific item, if there's something that you have as a preference, I'd like to hold it for you if I can.
I mean, the bow of Valanthe is very tempting. I will say that much. So that would be a leaning in that direction, but in terms of the arrows, probably I would take the silvered arrows. If there's a friend of mine who is also an archer, he might come in. If he got them, that would be fine too. We could share them amongst ourselves. We always try and share arrows amongst the group as we can. And then maybe
Very well, very well.
maybe the lower grade of the magical arrows. Just so we have something that can punch through.
Understood. I will say I did have someone making some inquiries about the Stalker's Gambit a while ago. They have yet to follow through, but it was one of. I probably shouldn't say, but I'll say this. It was one of the members of one of the families here.
That would make sense.
Though I fear that it would become nothing more than a discussion piece.
I would
Not what it was designed for.
Yes, I mean I have a friend who feels like it would suit down to the ground. It feels. I'm not sure how I feel about the necrotic nature of the damage it puts through. It doesn't sit well with.
It yes, I understand. It's not everyone's leaning. I mean, I would say, speaking as someone who's rooted in nature, as I see that you are, do understand that, there's it's part of the cycle.
Yes.
Of death and rebirth and so on. I think that sort of damage has a bad reputation, perhaps in part because of a lack of understanding of the full cycle of life. But I mean, I also do understand your hesitance.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, those are fair points. But yes, I don't know. I feel slightly uncomfortable with that. But it is a beautiful bow. But I actually kind of like the something about looking at the bow of Valanthe speaks to me more.
Understood.
But again, if my friend were to come in and take it, I would fully understand he is more pursuing of such arts right now. So if he could put it to good use.
And your friend is could you just describe them to me?
Yes, grumpy dwarf.
Right.
I mean, I don't need to. I guess I could have just said dwarf. Yes, he. I don't remember if he's been in here before, but yeah, red hair.
Very well. I will keep an eye out for him then. And yes, I can hold back some of these items until you decide.
Thank you. Yes, we are. I don't think it's any real secret. We are going to go into the forest and try and. Apparently, there's been a return of the infestation of the sort of monstrous boars.
Right. Well, noble cause indeed.
So yes, anything we can get to go and help with that will be good.
Very good.
Thank you kindly. I shall head out for now and see if I can run into the rest of them.
Bye.
We do the secret elf
all right.
farewell.
Yeah, of course. But we won't put that on camera.
Well, we shouldn't.
It's secret after all.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Silverius.
Mm-hmm. He definitely wanted to return to Simlin's Smith house and just be, not that he thinks there'll be much garnered from it, but check out maybe any information LSQ has at the Niagara guardhouse.
And so what are you looking, sorry, from LSQ?
It would be to inquire about if he knows anything about these paw prints popping up everywhere, and any more information about the boars in the woods, if there's like attacked caravan, I don't know, like hunters that go out and report things, or just information about the situation ahead.
Alrighty. So Semlin's first.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't know if because I see that James and Spencer showed up, if they would follow along or not. But
Oh yeah, you certainly have that choice.
Yeah, I'd probably be more likely to go to someone than myself.
Rude. Does Cassette want to go to Semlin's, or does Cassette have other plans?
Yeah, Semlin's. Yeah, I would tag along.
All right, we'll take a trio over to Semlin's then. So you enter the Smith house and greeted by the the soot-covered walls and just that thick smell of iron in the air. But thankfully, not the iron that you were smelling when you came through at the docks. As usual, Semlin hard at work, hammering away on some glowing piece of metal, as yet unshaped into anything meaningful, with the help of one of his assistants. He takes a moment before he's ready to stop. Has to get the piece to a suitable stopping point. And then just sort of gestures to his apprentice to continue the work. And he comes over and says, "Hello, welcome back. How can I help you today?"
Tavares pulls out, I guess he's kind of, no, he pulls out the armor out of his bag and puts it up on the counter. I am finished with this. Pushes it to him.
"Oh, aye." Takes a look. It seems in just about the same condition I gave it to you. Brilliant. See much action?
Fortunately. Hardly any.
Great. Well, better for me that way. And gathers it up and actually no, he doesn't even take it. He gestures again to one of his apprentice smiths to come and take it off your hands, and just says, "All right, we'll give it a wee clean and we'll get it back on the shelf." Remind me, who else had some? And then kind of looks across it. Did I give you something? Or did you? You didn't rent, right? You just purchased.
Hope so.
Yeah. Don't get a lot of renting. Bit weird. But it's fine. It worked. Clearly. Everything's fine. How can I assist you besides returning the armor?
As Sylvaris looks, is there anything on display in the back wall?
I forget what they like have in here.
I mean, he has
Mainly
a
armor?
pretty. He has a fairly wide collection. Let me see what he's got available. So you purchased previously the Eldath Waterfall. That's the armor that Sylvaris is wearing currently. He does say, "No, I'm still working on." You remember there was the plates you got from the that creature. What's it? The big burrowing mole thing. Big hard armor. I don't remember the name.
The bullet.
Aye, that's the one. Right. So yes, I've been working on trying to turn that into some armor. It's going well. It's not finished yet. But I really like how it's going. It's probably going to end up being half plate by the time I'm done. From what I'm gauging from it so far is that I think probably some. It's difficult. Have you ever tried making weapons or armor from magical creatures? No, I guess not. Okay, so here's the thing. You can't always tell what, if any, of the essence of the creature will be imbued into the item you're creating. It's a complicated process. See, some items, like just any gestures to there's a sword on the wall. This is Rurik's gift. I believe I showed it to you before. It's the one that you can, when you focus on it, you can change the shape of the weapon into a different style of weapon. That is not something I could make. That requires some powerful enchanters, because you're taking the essence of the weapon and changing it in magical ways. Whereas this, and he gestures to the half-assembled armor, this is something that's innate, and I'm just capturing it and crafting it, if you see what I mean. So it's two very different processes. Anyway, my point is, I'm not entirely sure what it's going to do when it's finished. But I know it's going to be hardy, like I said. It would be equivalent to a half-plate armor, because those plates from the armor are incredibly hard, like the beast's armor, natural armor. But I imagine some sort of a capability from the beast will be passed on as well. I just haven't quite figured out what yet. So apologies for not having a better answer yet. But I'm still working on it. I should have that one probably ready. Let's see. It's the was it the 4th today? I don't know, by the 7th or 8th, I reckon I should have that done. If if I don't get held up. And as he says that, he says, I keep getting these special requests, and you see one of the apprentices over in the corner with there's a little mound of darts on his left, and then there's a little a cauldron that's bubbling, or not cauldron, that's not the right word, but something there's you can see bubbling silver liquid, and then to the right there's a much smaller pile of shiny darts. Special request came in this morning. But anyway, so yes, sometimes we get a bit delayed. That one was a bit of a rush job. But right, so give it 3-4 days. That one will be ready for you, and I'll give you first dibs and a good price on it, since you guys brought me the plates in the first place. As far as anything else, I don't have a lot. You guys took that nice armor I had before, and gestures to Silverius wearing it. So I don't. Now, if you're looking for something else with a bit more bite, it could be a challenge. But I know each of the families has their own sort of repository that you might be able to make inquiries at. I don't know if you've got a reputation with them to where they might be a bit more open to trading with you. Obviously, they tend to like to hoard all of the best things to themselves, so that in case this delicate balance that we have in the city collapses, they're not left, quote, too unaware and unprepared. So what tends to happen is a lot of the higher quality stuff is snapped up by them fairly quickly, and then it just sits collecting dust in some armory somewhere, on the off chance that absolute chaos descends. But I do know that sometimes, for the right price, they're willing to sell something. So you could try, I think each of the 4 houses has a place you can go to, make inquiries, and try and see if there's something from their armory that you could pick up. So that's an option. Besides that, I've just got, regular, a bit of this, bit of that kind of deal at the moment. Now, I don't... Are you with the cat that came in with the darts? I feel like I've seen them walking around town with you before.
Smokey.
Aye, that's the one. So, if you need it, we can silver out something else too. We got it bubbling away, so that's an option. Alternatively, I do have this, and he goes over to one of the tables at the back and pulls out a huge morning star, and you can see the let me double check. I want to make sure my description is accurate. So, yes, this one, because it looks like there's some debate about whether this should be a not necessarily debate, but there's alternatives between a solid piece or having it a bit flaily. So this one is it's like a handle that's about 3 feet long. Then there's a 1 foot chain, and then this dense ball of metal, and you can see that the spikes on the metal all have a slight glow to them. Yes, I got this too. I call it my mooning star. It's a bit of a joke, that one. Ironically, I think probably the name didn't help because no one's bought it yet. But the idea is it's a moon touched morning star essentially. So the spikes were left out overnight on a full moon kind of deal, and imbued with the power of the moon, and then attached into the orb at the top there. So this one is, it's a moon touched morning star. Aye. So given what your friend Smokey was saying, this might be something that works for you.
The set is very, just kind of intrigued with the magic, but also the weapon kind of is interesting too. Can she, reach out while he, offer it? Is he holding it in his hand?
Yeah, go. Have a grab.
She just kind of grabs it and is kind of testing the weight of it, because it's kind of a different shape than just a regular flail, right? So, does she feel like she could get a swing with one hand, or is this more two-handed?
Give it a swing. See how it feels. Just a regular attack roll.
How do you attack?
Just
I get it. I think we got it.
Keep clicking things, see what happens.
All right, plus 8 for a 15.
So yeah, you swing it. It feels it has a really nice balance to it. Unsurprisingly, you've quickly gathered that the items that Semlin makes are of very high caliber. And so there's a lot of weight in the handle that helps. You think you probably could swing it two-handed, but it's intended to be one-handed.
Okay.
It's a chunky one-handed weapon.
Yeah, okay.
And you just give it a little twirl, and there's an immediate sense of, oh, uppercut.
I was thinking that's one of the kind of testing motions. You just gotta make sure you can uppercut with it. Okay, she is quite smitten, but she'll ask, what does the moon touch magic? What is that? What sort of abilities does that impart?
So what it does is, it's basically a +0 weapon, which doesn't sound great, but it counts as magical for the purposes of bypassing resistances. So it is essentially a magical weapon, but it doesn't have any benefits beyond just being a magical weapon.
Yeah, okay.
It's better than plain silver.
Right. So silver is a very specific niche case thing. This would potentially have more uses because there are quite a lot of things that have resistance to non-magical BPS, that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. She kind of realizes she didn't, like, it was presented to the group and she just kind of walked up and grabbed it and didn't look at anybody else. So now she feels a little embarrassed. So she sets it down and, kind of steps back in line with the other three and is like, oh, that's interesting. One of us may be interested in purchasing that. She kind of looks to the other two to make sure she didn't, like, steal their thunder.
Not my style.
Tavares, he grabs it and he picks it up and holds it, and he thinks back about how poorly he performed with it on the boat, and he puts it back down. Not my preference.
Wait, this is the same. Oh,
It's the same
Morning Star on the.
Well,
Yeah,
it's got a
borrowed
chain
your
hang on the
flannel.
end.
Oh yes, okay.
He learned
And
he
it
doesn't
was-
like that. It's too dangly.
It was disastrous.
Yeah.
It was impressively poor.
What is the price for this item?
So this one is it's understandably a little pricier than your standard Morningstar. So this one will set you back 80 gold, let's say. I'll knock a little bit off because you guys are repeat customers, and frankly, sometimes it feels like you keep me in business.
Well,
That's a joke. I got lots of business, but
We have
Banter.
a few things and quite a few people to buy for, but that seems promising.
Whilst they're having that conversation, Esker pokes her head in the door real quick and says, I thought I might find you here. I have been to the Pickled Quipper. If you pop along there at any time today, I've spoken to the owner about a few things that I'm interested in. But as you are the money carrier, Cosette, and we should decide these things somewhat more democratically, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide what is sensible to get. I'm fine with anything, but I know I need at least some punching power. But whether that's arrows or a bow, it's fine. But I'll leave it in your hands if any of you pop along there later with money as to what to get. I heard there was a concert by a few bards happening just down the road, so I'm going to pop along there now and see how it's going. I'll meet up with you later. Smokey's coming with me.
I tell you what, if just someone come pick these up later, doesn't have to be Smokey, and gestures over to the slowly growing pile of silver darts in the corner.
While we're here, before we leave, she'll ask, is it possible, she has like, a couple javelins. Is it possible to tip a javelin? Is that, darts seem to be pretty inexpensive, but what would the cost be since you're already doing it, to do a javelin?
For the javelin, probably we could do those for about, say 10 gold apiece.
How much for the falcata?
That one for the full blade, you're looking at 25 gold.
I'll go with that. I'll pull it out and hand it over.
Oh, you're going to silver your falcata?
Yeah.
Is that new trick limited?
I mean, eventually we might run out of silver. At the moment we got plenty, but you can't give me things. We'll see. Might have to send someone out to the market to get some more. But right now we're good. All right. Well, it looks like two of you need to pop off.
Yes. I have to get changed.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll try not to let your guys die while you're gone.
Please.
No promises.
Absolutely no promises.
When Rich logs off, I attack Eska.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him while he's logging out.
I'll stand behind her, and, like on my hands and knees, so you can push.
Semlin will turn into his true form of the pit fiend and start biting. Yeah.
Tragic dragon attack at the local
Secretly,
market
Simon was
concert.
the cause
No
of
survivor.
all the bloody paw.
So I will say for quick catch up for James and Spencer here. So Smokey's getting the darts done. Eska went to the Pickled Quipper, and so that there's two bows there that have been there since the beginning. There's one that's ludicrously expensive, 7,300 gold. And then the other one is the bow of Valanthe, and Valanthe is a local hero, elvish chap who helped fight off a demon assault.
Is that the actual bow of Valente? Like the bow this person used, or does it?
Yes,
Like-
it is. So yeah, the
Does it have like a little not actually the bow of Valente? You know, all rights reserved.
it is
Replica.
it is purported to be the bow that was used to kill the Marilith that was sent by Grazd.
Gesundheit.
And if I remember correctly, Valente had a bow, but then also fought with two scimitars. I think that's. It's been a while since I've looked into that legend. But so I think, ironically, the bow probably is the least impressive of the weapons that Valente was using. Because I think it came down to hand. Mariliths are like, they either have 4 or 6 arms, and they have like scimitars in all of them or something horrific. They're awful creatures. So you have to be a very talented duelist to be able to fight one in melee, because you've just got this storm of steel coming at you. Yeah, so we've got these requests in. What are you going to get from Semlin then? Let's confirm that.
I think with the price, she's gonna do the morning star and maybe like 2 javelins, just to make it like an even 100. If that seems to be well within our price range.
Do the Volcado.
Mm-hmm. I will need you to write it down as Mooning Star on your character sheet.
Well, I wrote it down in my notes, but I will. Yes.
Yes. Because when you swing with it, I want it to say Mooning Star on the right too.
Fair enough.
This doesn't have to happen right now, but just as an thinking, because he had mentioned about the satraps and their stores, so maybe.
Yeah, did we have any reputation with, or have we met
helped
them?
We helped the Jathlet family, didn't we?
You did help the Jathlet
with the
family.
bugbears.
Yep.
Yes.
And so I was thinking about them, and with my previous service, do I remember the Surratt family having any sort of stockpile of weapons?
Not necessarily. Thinking back, you would imagine that they probably are in a situation where if something of note came into their possession, there was a realistic chance that it got scooped up quite soon after by their overlords, essentially. So they'd probably be able to keep more modest items, maybe the odd +1, something like that. But anything of note probably would be like, oh, that's a mighty fine sword you have there, yoink! So they probably go out of the way to not get those kind of things, because they just lose them.
I probably wouldn't have went back to them anyway, but just out of curiosity.
No. And so who the Serats, were they under the Jathlites or was it someone else?
I'm pretty
it's
sure it
been a
was.
while
I
since-
think it was under the Jathlights. So,
That's what I was thinking.
I didn't really work very much with the Jathlights, so I would. And since outside of that one job we did for them, but since we do have some standing, I would say we could go there. Check what they've got. Likely to be pricey though.
How much
Right.
gold did we have?
Yeah, okay, so we have 329 platinum, 31 gold, and then 38 silver. And then I have 24 gold just randomly in my pocket. So,
I have 21 gold on me too.
Do you still have some gems? I left
yeah, there are. I don't know the exact number. I think we just got like an estimate.
Would Semlin be interested in some of those for
Oh, yeah, good point.
decorating some of the weaponry along those lines?
Yeah, Semlin will happily take the citrine off your hand for let's see, 100 gold.
Okay.
Does that seem? How's that sound?
Yeah, I think that was right around the estimates, so it makes sense.
Okay, yeah, you can convert that then.
So we can definitely, I mean, we can
Funny.
afford the bow. What was the cost of the darts, just so I can go ahead and, or did she already pay for it?
She already
He
paid for those. Yeah,
Okay.
They were pretty
Yes.
cheap, all things.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, all
It was
things considered.
42 gold. It's not very much silver. I think that's really what it boils down to. They're quite small. Whereas, for something like the Falcata, that's a large blade that's being
Yeah, that makes
coated.
sense. The darts you just dip.
The darts
dry,
it's essentially
dip,
just the
dry.
tip. Yeah.
Bloop.
And even with the javelin, obviously it's a big weapon, but most of it
Just that
isn't
metal piece at the beginning would
right.
probably
It's just
be metal.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's why I wasn't sure how much they'd be, because I was thinking they probably break. I know you can recover them, but they probably, I don't know if they have like a chance to break when you throw them or whatever, but you can certainly lose them too. So I didn't want to spend too much, but that seems like a fair price.
I can send you some YouTube videos if you want to learn about some of this stuff.
on the durability of
So
javelins.
durability
Yeah.
rating of javelins.
Yeah.
And is it accurate in 5e?
Yeah. I was talking to Phil about that last night, and I was like, no, it's not.
Are they too durable or
TLDW.
not durable enough?
Yeah, right. Probably too durable. But
Too durable.
I know not to buy a lance, because those are just like a one-use item, basically, from everything I've seen in movies. Like,
yeah, that's fairly accurate.
See now, when I had a +2 lance on Zelgrax when he was flying Weatherby Featherby,
yeah.
his griffin. See, that's magical, so that's fine because then it's got that durability built in.
No, definitely. That's the beauty of the magic. Like, yeah, it's instructive.
So is Silverius? Is anybody interested in the half plate that they're making? I know we don't have to worry about that right this second, but I don't think
Always
Set would
interested
be-
in half plane.
yeah, because it had a splint and an adamantine splint, so I don't know obviously what it would exactly be, but I don't know that would be an upgrade.
Wait, I thought you had the.
So-
is that the rusted armor?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, it would be an
Line's
upgrade.
terrible, but
Yeah,
Is
no,
it?
it would for
Okay.
you. It'd be an upgrade, right? I mean, yeah, it's good.
oh, true, yeah.
Visually is garbage, but the cancellation of crits has
Yeah, right.
happened, I think, a lot.
Yeah, no, it's that ability is
It is really good.
one of my
Annoyingly
favorite in
often.
the game. Yeah.
Simlin, is there anything you can do to spruce this up?
Yeah, right.
Dip this in silver.
I feel like she
Getting
just
rid
has
of
like a
the same.
tabard that she wears over it that's very pretty. But
Yeah.
like it. When the wind blows, it goes to the side and it's all rust underneath and stuff.
You could probably just put some nice flowing fabrics over it.
Yeah.
Like some embroidery,
All right, so it sounds like you've got what you want from Semlin for now. Someone will have to come back and pick up the darts. He said a couple of hours probably to get those done.
What
So
all the other stuff too.
oh right, yes, the other stuff. Yeah, so let's say to Silver, everything that you've requested be ready by dinner. 5, 6 o'clock, something like that. I'll be honest, I don't know how long it takes to silver a weapon. So this may be an entirely unreasonable timeline I've created.
Oh no, the immersion.
But yes, I don't think we're too fast, are we? Good. So, where to next? I know Severi said he wanted to go talk to Alescu. Bardor Cosette, are there any other things you wanted to do? And also, before you head your separate ways, do the three of you want to decide what Eska can buy?
What she can buy?
What she's permitted to buy.
So Varus wants to ask Eska, do you even need a bow? Like, in his mind, he's seen her magical ability, so he's wanting the like, she needs to pitch why she really needs this expensive magic bow. In his mind, that's what I said.
Submit a
I mean, it's
justification
like, yeah, I should get
request. We'll review. We'll see if we have the allocated funds.
Right.
Yeah. We'll get back to you in 8 to 12 weeks.
I mean, I think Eska still sees Eska as an archer first.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of Eska's default mode, is archer. The fact that, because you do see her do magic, but like, you know, when she did the ice storm down in the cave, she was surprised by that.
True.
So, you know, the shooting with the bow is still, like, that's her first thought when she gets into combat, is shoot things. That's that's where her mind goes to first, I think. So, and in part it's because I think she doesn't properly fully trust the magic side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because she doesn't understand it fully, or at least doesn't seem to. So that's probably why she would default to wanting the bow first. I'm trying to think. Let's see what she got.
I was gonna ask before Rich left if, cause I can't remember if she uses offensive cantrips.
That's what I was just looking up. So I have seen her use Winter's Grasp, which is it's a shocking grasp variant. But that's for melee, obviously.
Yeah.
She has a ranged cantrip. I don't remember seeing her use it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, normally her default is from range. She's just shooting. So that would be her argument, I'm sure. She's a little sad because she really likes that bow she has already. It's a very nice bow. It's just not magical.
Can we trade magical items for discounts or sell them?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay.
Good try.
Did Silverius buy anything? I didn't.
He just returned the armor that he had rented.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't really need anything.
Yeah.
Ultimately. The only possible thing would be if you wanted, because you don't have great range options, so if you wanted to get some silverwood bolts, that was the only thing, and I think you were leaning towards no anyway, right?
I don't feel like we're going to be that far away from a boar.
They do like to charge.
Chances are that I should probably be looking for a shield.
Silvered lance, that's what you need.
Right.
Yeah.
Good for one hit.
Silvered boars.
Costs 4,000 gold to silver a lance.
I mean, the only other thing I would want to do is check in with the draft.
Okay.
Can you silver a javelin and just tape it to the end of a lance? Just beep, beep, poke, poke.
Yes, it does 1 damage.
The magical duct tape.
Oh,
One
magical duct
silver
tape?
damage.
It does
Yes, yeah.
2 damage. It's magical duct tape, so it'll hold better.
It's just regular duct.
Well, it doesn't.
Oh, one
Sharpie, magical.
Yeah, right. With a K, magic.
I mean, I would vote for. We have 3,000 gold, so I would vote
wow.
for. Yeah, we have 300 platinum. So even with the, I mean, unless anybody has any big other items, we'll still have tons of gold if he gets the
More
bow,
than
so.
I thought.
I mean, like I said, I would like to look at with the Jathlets, but I would.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not opposed to her getting a different bow. And I mean,
Okay.
some of the other, I mean, I don't really know if I'd really want to spend money on the consumables. To be honest, if she wanted to, that'd be fine. But like, I just can't. In character, being like, I'm going to pay that much money on something I'm going to shoot once.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and pay for everything at Simlin's then, Bill, and then we'll just. I won't pay for the bow yet. So it's 80 for the Mooning Star.
80 for the Mooning Star,
gonna do
20 for the javelins.
Yeah.
It's 10 each for the javelins.
Yeah, I'll do
so,
3. I have 3. I might as well just do them all. So
Sure.
110 and then 135, including the fuck
Yep.
on it. Okay.
All right. Eli, have fun.
Thank you very much. This was fun. Good start to my day.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the other things that so they're still resupplying as far as obviously going to pick up whatever we're picking up from the Pickled Quipper. Other things discussed were researching Malar as well. So I would say yes, you've got researching Malar, the Pickled Quiver, and then the Jathlets seem to be your target. So where to first?
The only other thing I wanted to do is just get a replacement. I never did for the calligrapher's tools.
Okay.
So nothing like I didn't need anything special, but did think I never did buy a replacement for that. So
You could probably just nip into the two halves and grab one of those.
Okay.
That's calligrapher's is 10 gold.
Okay.
So you can replace that. Just give that one a wee hand wave unless there's anything else you want to pick
No,
up
because
while
she
you're
doesn't
there.
need anything special with it. I mean, it was that kind of combined. She still has the forgery kit, and it was kind of using those combined, to. So I don't think there's any like special needs for the tools. Okay, that was it. Sorry.
No problem. No. Okay. So, should we head to? I think you would have for the Jathlets. You would have spoken to them at Julith. You would have been to Julith's house.
I don't
Previously.
remember these. These are the ones that we helped with the.
Yeah, you rescued Julith from the bugbears.
Yeah. The kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this isn't one of like the 4 rich families, right?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Because realistically, the bulk of the best items in town are going to be held by them.
They're almost like secondary investments for them.
That's why a lot of
And it
probably going to be
yeah.
expensive.
Or these people could be people that need things. Money may, they have money, but they may need services or something. And especially if we're going with people we've already helped, that may be a good start. These may be willing to buy, like these families, if we have anything that's like a magical item that we're upgrading, like this would be probably who might be more willing to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it's a nice bow, you could go to the Pickled Quiver.
Yeah.
For a lot of weapons and armor, Samlin may be interested because he can turn it around.
Yeah. And this may be one where, like, if it's been used, the family. I mean, that might be a sell to the families because it's like, oh, this has been used in, to slay
Right.
50 orcs, and for somebody that's just using it really as a showpiece anyway, that may be
Right, you can add a little prestige to it.
instead of it going as used bow, like it may be prestigious,
Yeah,
historic bow instead. Yeah. Anyway, you never know what a couple charisma checks can get you.
It's true.
What you're for.
Okay, so do you want to head back to the Jathlet house where Julith was then?
Yeah, I think so.
The Jathlet district is just directly north of South Delzimer. They essentially have what would be South Delzimer, apart from the bit that you know and love as South Delzimer, which is sort of under Nagra control. And I say Nagra control. It really it's possibly under the Drake's Warden control. That's why it's probably the presence of the Drake's Warden tower that prevents any of the families from taking control of this part of town. And because they're there, the Nagra do the guard duty in South Delzimer. So yeah, the Dathlets kind of have this sort of south central area essentially, where the middle of town obviously is the Fulrith area and various other bits and pieces, assorted food carts, and so yeah, there's sort of three neutral areas: South Delzimer, Central, and then the docks, because everyone has a slice of the docks. And so the yeah, it's not particularly far a walk to get to the Dathlets area.
I'll swing by my favorite heroes and villains to grab a quick little hero.
Of course. The main sort of tower, or the not tower. That's an incorrect term. The main location, the Jathlet's main house is called Selk Turrets. It's a strange name, but apparently that's what it's called. Pop that in the chat. That's like the big family house. I don't believe that's where Julith was. Yeah.
I mean,
but yes.
see, I feel a little weird about going up to somebody's house.
I mean, you could go to Selk Turrets as the sort of the primary head of the beast, as it were.
Yeah, I suppose that's there. Yeah, we can go there and we can say, we've done work for the family before, rescuing Julith, and we have another job, and we're looking for some potential sell trade for magical weapons. They buy trade, not sell. Sell us stuff. I don't necessarily know if we're in that market quite yet.
And we're going door to door, and we're just asking if you.
Yeah, do you have anything?
Rich people love that.
Right. Okay, so yeah, you can head north up to Selk Turrets, and it's much like you I'm trying to remember what it was. You went to the Merry Demon in the Harlhound district before, and that was right next to the Harlhound's estate, where it had like this high wall that went all the way around, so you couldn't really even see into their area. Very similar vibe here. There's an 8-foot stone wall that kind of protects this estate. There's a couple of towers that are overlooking the area, so it definitely stands out. Delzimer isn't typically a very tall place, unsurprisingly. The Drake Warden guardhouse in South Delzimer is one of the places that stands out. The Fulrith stands out as a large 3-story building. And then these, there's a fair number of 2-story buildings, but the something like this really stands out a bit. It kind of dominates the district that the Jathlets have control of. And so as you come up to there's an obvious entrance where it has like a proper gatehouse type thing. There's a like the old classic double portcullis situation. Both of those are up. And there's a couple of guards who are on duty at the front gate there. You see a young male gnome who, as soon as you start looking like you're making your way toward the gate, immediately kind of like clocks you and is just watching you as you approach. And Bardor, as someone who watches closely, you're like, oh, we're being watched closely. Like, you've immediately been clocked and identified as a potential concern. That's all, just a concern. And then there's another guard with him, a halfling who's just a bit more relaxed, propped up against the wall. But the gnome's kind of just watching you as you approach.
I'll whisper over to Setos, like, you turn on the charms.
Okay, I don't remember much about this family, but what was the kid's name? Sorry,
Julith.
Eulith.
Well, I don't know what you said, but it's not what I said.
Eulith?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I spelled it right, just without the J.
Okay. That's surprisingly good then.
For me, yeah. Oh, no, that's the... Yeah, okay. What's the kid's name?
The kid you saved?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her.
Oh, I thought that was the last name of the family. Okay, I'm sorry.
Jathlet is the name.
Jathlet, that's what I...
And I'm like telling you this as we go.
Yeah, so what is her name? Julith Jathlet?
Pretty accurate.
Why did he save this kid?
Like, I'm the one.
Putting him out of his misery.
I'm the one who doesn't remember what's going on here.
Yeah.
To be fair, this had to be 2020 or 2019.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay.
But hey, at least you're level 7 now, so there's that.
Fair. I leveled up faster in Adventures League. Okay, she'll go up and just kind of say, like, apologies that we haven't scheduled this in advance, but we have done some work, and she doesn't want to, like, kind of a rich family may not look fondly upon, like, somebody being captured or having to be rescued or something. So I don't know that she'd mention that, but maybe just kind of like say we've, helped with the safety and security of this family. We've been previously employed, and we were wondering if we could speak to either the family directly or maybe have permission to speak to the armor or whoever deals with the arms collection in the house. We're just looking to see, we may have some items that you may be interested in, or under the impression that you may have some items in the collection, and we are...
He just kind of he puts up a hand and says, "It's not me you need to talk to. You need to talk to Master Colmes."
Perfect.
Give me a second. Who did you say you were with?
The Hand of Aegis.
Just eyeing you up. One moment. Wait here. And the halfling's paying a bit more attention now. The gnome potters off into like through the door in the bottom of the gatehouse. And You hear some muffled words, and then
Because nobody's gonna they're not recognizing us, right? Or
you can
they're
make an
just,
insight check to see if you think you're being clocked like that.
I guess, just out of curiosity. Oh, 14. That's not bad for me.
Doesn't seem to like instantly recognize you. When you say Hand of Aegis, there's a hint of recognition at least. And yeah, you hear this muffled talking, then he comes out and says, all right, go follow this path down. Do not go to the front door. Follow this path down. It'll fork off to the left. There's a small door off to the left. That's where you need to go. Master Combs will meet you there.
Thank you. We appreciate your assistance.
He just kind of sighs a bit and heads back. I
don't have good luck with guards.
There's a little stool. He goes, sits on that, and you're able to walk in. As you go through the gatehouse, you see the building is this magnificent 2-story stone structure. The pathway that leads up to the front door is like lined with a low 2-foot hedge, and it goes out to like a little hedge maze that's like 2 foot tall. Not very challenging on account of you can see. But there's at the center of the little mazes, there's these little fountains. It's really very, very attractive and quite out of place for the rest of Delsmer, which is very efficient, let's say. This is very much all for show. As you look back behind you as you walk, you do clock there's at least one guard on top of the gatehouse who's still watching you as you go. The guards at the bottom are facing back out, watching for anything coming towards the gate, but there's definitely one or two who are keeping an eye on you from the tower right there. And you would assume probably from some of the other towers as well. Looking around, there's, this wall it's a long straight wall, and there's one tower on each corner at the edge of the garden area thing. So you can head in the vague direction of the front door. There's not really any turning off yet.
Okay.
Just before you get to the front door, there's like a little paved area, and very clearly there's a turn to the left, so you can take that way and head to a much smaller, less grand-looking door.
We'll knock on the door, I suppose.
All right. The door is opened by a person. It is an older male halfling. It seems fairly well dressed. Very much not adventuring gear. This is high society style gear. Everything, Cosette, you would appreciate this. Everything is very carefully laid out. The attire is very well put together. It's a very intentional sort of outfit. And looks at you with a cheerful smile and says, the Hand of Aegis, I believe.
Yes, thanks for seeing us. We've really had some luck with finding some more rare armor and weapons. We've continued to do what we can to help Delsmer, and just like we did with this family. And but we seem to have run into some more dangerous foes. So we continue to try to find a way to continue to upgrade our group here. and we've found out that some of these families may have some useful items for trade and as investments and things. And so I just wanted to see if there was any way we could maybe see what you had, trade if the family's looking for anything in particular. We've done some traveling. We could also keep a lookout for any items that they're willing to purchase. We could purchase for them. Just kind of see what you guys had. We consider this you guys an ally to our group, and so we figured we'd see how you were doing.
Very well.
Because we haven't met this guy before, right?
No.
He knows of us, but
No.
yeah, okay.
He knows of you. So he says, well, yes, I suppose we could grant you access to meet with our friends over at the vault. That seems reasonable. I do know that your help was greatly appreciated previously. Let's see. Right, go to the Cursed Sword. It's a few streets over. Speak to the barman there. And say you were sent by Master Combs and to show you to the tap room. And he'll know what that means.
Okay, that sounds easy enough.
And here, and he reaches into a pocket and just hands you a medallion about the size of the palm of your hand, roughly. Just has the family crest of the Jathlites on it. It would be beneficial if you showed this as well.
Perfect. And how is the family? Is everyone?
Yes, everyone is well and home at the moment.
Safe?
Yes, presently safe.
I didn't mean to ask that like a are you sure everyone's safe? Like like a creepy.
Do you know where your children are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know I can do something about that, right?
Do you want to make sure they stay that way?
Yeah, right.
Presently, yes. Thanks to your efforts, everyone is home and accounted for.
And I don't remember too much about the boars. Is that something that has affected a specific group or the whole town, or is that bear mentioning here at all, or?
So, the boar activity is on the edge of the woods, to your knowledge, at least.
Yeah.
As such, there's the possibility that it could interfere with trade. You haven't heard of that, because the road out towards Badge Down, for instance, is goes along the edge of the woods. That's where you fought the Chimera previously. And likewise, there's a road that heads obviously south past the Pickled Quiver. Pickled Quipper. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even. I've muddled them up. No!
We've gone too far.
Yeah. They're looking
but yeah, so there's the main trade routes kind of like hug the woods.
Yeah, so something that could
potentially it could bleed out and interfere with those sorts of activities.
She'll mention that, just not really expecting to get like reward or anything, but just kind of more like, hey, we continue to help you and your family, and like, this is what we're working on now, so hopefully that helps you guys out too, and just kind of more just mentioning it for some goodwill, that's all. And then she'll thank him and say, is this something we could do today?
Yes, it
Okay.
should be there now.
Perfect.
I mean, it's a fairly secure facility, so you know we keep staff there at all times.
Great. Well, thank you, and appreciate your time.
You're welcome. And yes, obviously, anything you do to assist the interests of the Jathlet family will be rewarded as before.
Oh, perfect.
Gives you a happy little smile. Seems quite a cheerful chap.
Yeah, he seems cool. Better than the guards.
Well, you know,
Guard's gonna guard.
it's understandable.
They're just,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Anything I missed, Bardor? We don't need to like get a bunch of details or anything, right?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right.
And I don't know that we need to wait for them, do we? We can at least go and just see what's going on.
Yeah,
We don't need to go as a big group.
All right. So, yep, you head back out the way you came. The gnome gives you a little nod as you head out. And you're back out on the streets of Delsmer.
And Combs is a halfling, right?
Yes.
It's right there. Okay. And this place is close, right? We can go right there. Cursed Sword.
Curse Blade. Yeah, he said
Blade.
it was a few streets over.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll go there now.
Let's-
I guess.
let- Okay. Which way are you heading?
Oh, I don't know.
to the place.
You know what? Fair enough. I think Bardor would know where it is. I would imagine, because you would have spent time in the Jathlet district.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. He didn't give us specific directions. He just said the
No, he
cursed
said if you
blade.
had-
Yeah. Okay. I was just like, I'll just follow the signs of the cursed blade, obviously.
I would think Bardor probably knows where all the drinking houses are in this neck of the
Oh,
woods.
that's true, yeah.
Yay me.
Less so some of the other districts. But yeah, okay. So yeah, it's a few
And just-
streets over to the west.
Just as we go around town, and I think this probably goes for most everyone in the group, but just kind of keeping an eye, like, this has a terrible, perception and passive perception, so she's kind of focused on what we're doing, but just kind of seeing, like, do we hear anybody talking about, which I don't think we would, like the paw marks, and do we see any new marks, like just kind of that sort of thing as we're going around. Not that I expect to, but
Give me perception. Your greatest skill.
Yep.
Right up there with Bardor's history.
that's a 5. So yeah, pretty focused.
Yeah.
All right, worth a shot.
You're just following Bardor to drinks. Okay, so yeah, like I said, a few streets over to the west, you come across the Cursed Blade. It's a fairly unassuming building, mostly wood frame construction, and open the door. Inside is a well, it's a pub, isn't it? That's what it is.
On the way, because that's like, he went and, this isn't a trick, right? Why are they sending us to a pub? Do you know?
I mean, they said something about the vault, and maybe they have this tucked away. I don't understand these types of people, to be honest. So we should probably be on our guard.
Okay.
So yes, you head inside, and there's some nice, well-made wooden tables and chairs. The walls, some windows looking out on the street, and then they do have some rather, let's say, vintage-looking weapons that are just put up on the wall. In particular, behind the bar, there's on a what probably once was quite a nice-looking plaque now a bit shabby and the paint's peeling in a few places. There's a large, very dark, I would say it almost looks like Bardor's Falcata in terms of shape, but sort of scaled up into like a two-handed blade. That's sort of up there that you assume is the source of the name of the bar.
It's probably not for
Behind the
sale.
bar, you see
They have a price tag.
you see it does not appear to, no. You see an elf, a male elf. Not that common around here. I mean, there's a few elves, but they're definitely very much in the minority here. But yes, you see him wearing fairly bland clothes, sort of like a muted beige shirt. And he looks up at you as you walk in. There's a few people here. It's sort of early afternoon now. There's a few people drinking.
Okay. We didn't get his name, so she'll just say, barkeep. We were just, and she'll kind of lower her voice just to make sure nobody hears. I don't know how secret it is, but we've been sent by Master Combs, and we'd love to see your tap room. She's not particularly good at being underhanded and secretive, so.
And he kind of looks at you for a second. Oh, you want to see the tap room? Taps
And
his
her eyes
nose
are like darting around
conspiratorially.
and looking to Bardor like, I did it right, didn't I? Yeah, like, that was pretty good.
And he says, right this way. And leads you towards a door at the back of the pub. And opens it for you. Right, there you go. Opens the door. And encourages you to walk through.
Yeah, she goes through.
All right, you are back out on the street. And in front of you, just on a regular street, is a large warehouse. It's only one story, but it's quite wide. Unlike the pub that you just came out of, this is a sort of a combination wood and stone built. Looks sturdy. There's no names written on it, but you do see at what you assume is the front door, one of the guards in the Jathlet garb. If you recall, as you go through town, the guards are very much aligned to the family. So this guard is in the Jathlet garb, and or the two guards, one either side of the door, and they're just perched on little stools, sitting there. You do, as you sort of look left and right, it's very clear that this is just any old street.
Yeah, okay.
You could absolutely have walked here without having to go through the cursed blade.
Stupid thing, yeah. Okay. I guess she'll start
yeah.
walking there unless he says anything.
And maybe make sure to show them that coin or whatever that he gave you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. She'll, if Bardor grabs her or something and says that, she'll, oh, yeah, hand the coin back. She'll hand it to Bardor to hand to him.
Okay. Feel like, yeah, we were told to, this was the tap room, and I show him the coin.
And he looks at the coin and he says, well, don't know about tap room, but this is the Jathlet vault. If you got one of these, you're welcome.
Okay. Well, thank you.
When he inspects it and just says, just check and make sure there's no blood on it and you didn't take it from someone, eh? All right, in you go.
Fair.
It's a human who is there, just sort of like very much the sort of classic grizzled veteran vibe. The other guy, much younger. They've got the classic rookie veteran thing going on. Buddy cop movie ready to go. It's just unfortunately nothing happens here anymore. You can tell that they've been sitting on these same stools day after day for a long time. But yeah, they open the door, and inside there's just it's one massive room, and there are wooden shelves that just go back away from the door, like rows upon rows of shelves in here. And then just off to the left as you go in, there's a little raised desk with a there's a half elf there, who is sitting perched behind the desk. Looks to be chatting away to some sort of bird perched on his shoulder. But or you probably would at least recognize as some sort of falcon that he's talking to. And on the desk in front of him, there's just a crazy mess of cogs and little springs and a lot of small tools, and one very incomplete looking mass of little bits of metal that have all been put together somehow, that currently you would imagine doesn't do anything at all, but maybe one day. And he looks up at you as you come in. Guests, welcome.
Hello. And she'll kind of introduce Bordor and do the whole spiel, what kind of we're looking for, and just kind of show, she has the moon, what's it called? Mooning star. And just kind of showing that, we're adventurers, we have some of this gear, this is of interest to us, and just kind of asking around it and what might be available and for trade and that sort of thing.
Right. Well, we're happy to make your acquaintance. I am Kess Deathlet, part of the family. They, for some reason, they think this is the place for me to be. And frankly, I don't argue because I get to have fun and sort of gestures to the mess in front of him. So, as far as potential items for sale or for trade, we do have quite a lot. I should say that I don't believe that the family would necessarily be willing to part with some of the more pricey items. I mean, well, no. Let me rephrase that. For the right price, I think they would be able to. But we have a lot here. Perhaps you could give me some sort of indication of the precise nature of what you're looking for. And I'll see if I have something that fits that description and would be something we'd be willing to part with.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Bardor, do you have any ideas for? Because Silverius has a weapon and armor. You're getting your, I guess, armor for you might be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to some sort of magical weapon, even though I'm getting it silvered, because I did not have any hopes of this going well. So let's say finesse weapons.
Yeah, because Smokey, what does Smokey use again? A rapier?
Scimitar.
Scimitar.
Yeah, that sounds right. There we go. Sometimes just claws.
Oh yeah.
But yes, scimitar is definitely an option. And you have seen him on one occasion just go kind of wild and feral. and go crazy scratchy scratchy. Which was using the spell Primal Savagery
Okay.
cantrip.
So I guess, yeah, we're really looking for probably more, one-handed magical weapons. It's kind of our interest.
Yeah, or maybe
Why?
some light armor potentially if you have anything like that as well, or or any longbows potentially.
Well, let's see. I don't know if we have any bows at the moment. We I don't think we do. We do have so as far as one-handed weapons, we have this rather nice sword, and he scurries off down one of the rows and comes back with a short sword that you can see as he's bringing it, like the blade on it is just insanely sharp looking to a degree that seems almost impossible at how narrow or how thin the blade is. This is it's not cheap, but it is rather potent weapon. I believe the impact of it is that once a creature is wounded by it, it is things like healing potions or anything like that are unable to have an effect. So put that out of character. It is a short sword of wounding, which, yes, any creature that it damages is unable to heal for the next minute.
And I'm assuming by the description and everything, like this isn't like the place in the town that we went to where it's like just a bunch of rich people, like cosmetically put up on the
No.
you hang on the mantelpiece. This is genuine, like magical.
This is a
items.
magical weapon,
Yeah,
for
okay.
sure. Yeah.
That was just one concern.
Like-
I was like, I wonder if these people are just collecting fancy looking things and not actually good things. Okay.
I mean, and you would imagine they have those.
Okay.
But he's probably already sized you up and realized that you need things that do stuff, not that look pretty.
Yeah.
One look at your armor says you're not interested in looking pretty. So, you know.
Do you have anything prettier? This is cool, but do you have anything?
So this one, and there's like a little ledger that he consulted. So this one, we'd be prepared to part for about 600 platinum.
It said platinum, huh?
Yep, he did.
If other now that is and I can see from your faces that's a little disappointing. I would say that is presently that's the cheapest sword I have available. Believe it or not, I have something a little pricier. But what I do have, there's one flail I have that is 450 platinum, that deals extra divine damage. If you're looking for something a little less, I may still be able to help you. We have assorted, less weaponry, but assorted knickknacks and things that may be of use to you in your battles. For instance, we have these, and he's looking through. We have some items of clothing that might be beneficial to you. Don't knock them. Don't just dismiss them out of hand. Because clothing, it can be very good. So, you know what? Follow me. We have a whole thing of clothing.
I was gonna go clothes shopping.
Sucked Bardar into clothes shopping.
Yeah.
He didn't even know.
Yeah.
Walked him
now
literally right by a bar, didn't get a drink, and took him to a clothing store.
Now, just ignore everything on the left. This is just fancy clothes. I don't think that's what you're here for. Again, just sort of vaguely gestures to Cosette.
Yeah, she like
but-
glances. She's like grabbing the fabric, grabbing a sleeve. Like she's kind of impressed with those
love,
anyway.
Love how
Keeps walking.
you're the one who's been targeted as one who doesn't care about any of that stuff. You're not
irony
worried
is
about the
what- Yeah.
fancier things. This is like killing you on.
She's like, oh,
And Cosette, this is haute couture. This is
Yeah.
like very fancy. There's ball gowns. There's just really nice sort of like court level dresses. Like this is quality stuff here that's just sitting
Yeah.
unused. And no doubt probably some of it's going to be as expensive as that sword
oh, for sure.
because it was made by the right person using the right blah 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 blah.
But it's going out of style, wasting away here.
But he said, now on this side, however, we have some special items, and there's a bunch of wooden boxes, and he opens one box. He says, yes, here's the one, and he pulls out some boots. They are very they're very well, initially they're kind of underwhelming. You look at them, they are just quite plain, sort of like it's a very dark brown. You would assume leather initially, just looking at them. But as he pulls them out and just holds them in front of you, he says, "These are special elf-made boots. Not leather, in fact. It's a special silk that they use." And turns them over and just shows the soles. These are spectacular. When you step, it is almost imperceptible. We'd be prepared to let these go for, let's say, 45 platinum. There's one option. Just pops them down. You're welcome to look if you wish. And then we have this.
Are those boots of Elvenkind?
Those are boots of Elvenkind. We have this, and opens a long, narrow box, pulls it up, and pulls out a rippling cloak. Now, this one's a little pricey, but it's quite special, and you can see the outside of the cloak is this like luxurious black fur. It glistens in the what you're now realizing is magical torchlight in the room. It just sheens beautifully, and then on the other side, there's sort of like a wonderful deep purple lining. This is rather special. I'm letting you know we have it. I have a feeling that right now it may be out of budget, but maybe one day. This is now. Please understand, this is a rather spectacular piece, but for the right people at the right time, I think it would be greatly appreciated. This is made from the skin of a displacer beast. As I believe you might know, a fearsome creature. The price, as I said, is high. It is 1,100 platinum, but I mean, first of all, look at the impression you would make wearing it. No one would notice your armor wearing this, young lady. this is spectacular. But obviously, it does have some benefits as well beyond that. This is not just a nice looking piece. So this is a cloak of displacement, which grants disadvantage on all attack rolls made against you.
Jeez, that's cool.
I have one other cloak, I think. Hold on, let me see if I can find this one. Here we go. Pulls out another similar looking case, opens it up, and this time pulls out a it's doesn't have the fur, but it's wonderfully woven, like a dark teal and black pattern on the cloak, and says, yes, this is a wonderful piece. Perhaps, if I may say so, in your budget, this one will run you 90 platinum and is imbued with abjuration magic, I believe. So would prefer some sort of defense bonus for you. That's a cloak of protection. For reference. And then I think I'm trying to think if you have any other clothes that may be of interest to you. Oh. One other. Again, possibly not for now, but I'm seeding this into your mind because one day. Also, I know that you have done great help. You saved Jules, my cousin. It was appreciated. And frankly, I don't tend to think like the rest of the family, and so I put it to you like this. Help the family again, and maybe you can use some of these items as leverage and say, well, I don't know, we did this great thing for you. Perhaps you'd be willing to part with... You see? That's what I would do if I was in your case. I'm not really the adventuring sort, but I have read lots of tales of the adventuring sort, and I really enjoy it. And I feel like they're always getting these wonderful things. So, if you have more wonderful things, you can get more wonderful things, you see? Anyway, and he disappears again and comes back with another. It's a large box, and he opens it up, and inside there is a large leather belt with a big metal buckle on it. I mean, so the belt is probably about, what's that, like 4 or 5 inches wide. And then there's a big stylized buckle that appears to be cast in metal of some sort, and has the face of what you would think is a giant.
Oh.
No, not a giant.
I like the sound of this.
This is one of my favorites in the thing, because I don't tell anyone this, but occasionally when we have some things to move around, I'll pop this on, and it really helps with moving some of the heavier boxes. I believe this was a hill giant belt, I want to say, and he kind of looks at it. Yes, that looks like a hill giant to me. As I said, pricey. We'd call this one 950 platinum, but lock it away, remember.
950?
Yes. The power that you could gain from wearing such a thing. As I said, I'm and kind of vaguely gestures to his arms. I'm not necessarily what you would call one of nature's athletes. However, I wear this, I can lift anything. It's really quite a trick. I enjoy wearing it. And I mean, we have other things too, of course. My family kind of tends to. I kind of think of them collectively as a dragon, and this is their horde almost. They've accumulated a variety of things from various different families across Faerun. It is kind of the nature of the beast. You can't just sit on gold because then you are a dragon. So you have to turn it into something more meaningful than just money. I don't really understand why, but it's what they do. I'm trying to think. So, what's next for you? Maybe there's something here that could be. I mean, we have a lot of things, but I'm trying to think of what could be most beneficial. You know?
Oh yeah, okay. So she'll share about kind of just what we have next, and that.
Okay.
And I guess, I mean, I don't know how taboo the topic is, but she'll talk about the forest, but then also say, and we're really trying to see, we can get a little bit more information on this gang or cult that's, and she'll kind of just drop it in conversation to see if he like shies away, then she'll just kind of drop it, but just kind of drop a little seed to see if he has any information or cares.
I did hear something about that actually. Yes, most of our trade goes through the west gate. You see, some through the south, mostly through the west, or of course through the port. And yes, with those ghastly things painted there on the west gate and the port, definitely made some of the traders nervous for sure. I dare say, whoever happened to clear up that mess would be earning the favor of the families, probably all four families, truth be told, because traders become nervous if they think the route is being watched or is under threat. So dealing with the forest, good. Dealing with the spooky paws, probably even better.
Well, that's good.
Feels, see, the woods is so far it seems like a fairly gentle threat, let's say. I haven't heard of anything particularly bad coming from that. But when you start bringing in the this mysterious bloody paw prints, that really gets people nervous.
It's like a red quest. Like
right.
Like a green quest, kill the boars, and then like a red quest.
As far as they're concerned, yes, I think that's probably pretty accurate. Yes, because what there's always going to be minor threats on any trade journey. That's to be expected. But when you have a situation where the main passageway is being marked by this mysterious, seemingly cultish sign. I don't know a lot about it. I haven't really. It's not really my field of expertise, as you may have gathered. But yes, definitely something to think about. And I would just say, if you're the ones to clear it up, it would be worth stopping in at the houses and letting them know that you're the ones who cleared it up.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know, because
I would bring proof. Otherwise, they probably won't believe you.
Yeah.
But if it persists, there will probably be some sort of financial impact, and that's when they start getting twitchy.
Yeah, it's good to know, because we kind of have, anybody we've talked to, I think when you have something like that people are scared of, I don't even think people want to really talk about it or be seen going against it. So we weren't really sure how everyone felt about it. So it's good to know that they do seem to be a menace. I just think people don't want to be seen going against them, so they're kind of going with the flow. But
right. I mean, I would say that they'll be much happy to talk about it once it's gone.
Right. Yep.
There was one other thing that I thought may be of benefit to you. If you head back to the front, I'll bring it over there. And disappears down. Takes a little while. And he comes back with a small lamp. And says, so this one is, I think could be of interest. It he kind of lights it up, and it just, as far as you can tell right now, seems to operate like a regular lantern. It's it has like a directionality to it, so it's like a 90-degree arc that it's shedding light. And he says, now, what's really crazy is that, it's hard to demonstrate this, but if there were something invisible standing in the light, you'd be able to see it. But there isn't right now, obviously. I don't, hold on. Let me see. Do we have anything that causes invisibility? That would be convenient. I would like to demonstrate this. I don't think they'd appreciate me using a potion. Okay, so I don't have anything that demonstrates that right now. But lanterns useful in general. But yes, one that could reveal if you were up against a hidden foe could be very useful.
These are very cool. What does this one run?
This one's 60 platinum.
Very cool. Well,
I dare say we have other things that could be useful for you. But it's hard to know. There's a lot here. As I said, there's been a certain amount of collecting and hoarding and so on. What I would recommend, as I said, it may be that over time we can, if you gain some more standing with the family. Don't get me wrong. I think they really appreciate the fact that you were able to save jewels, and I rather suspect that's why you're even allowed to enter. Because just any old person isn't allowed to just come in here. You understand? We maybe I'll get a directive one day that we could maybe come down on some of the prices, or so on and so forth. It is obviously in the interest of the family. If you are doing something that benefits the family, then it makes sense to incentivize you to continue doing things to benefit the family. That's the way I would look at it. So,
Well, our it sounds like our next two priorities kind of align anyway.
Indeed.
And I think these are amazing items. Very cool. She just genuinely is happy to meet somebody who is not suspicious or guarded or an asshole or all that. That's just kind of the world, right? So just to have somebody who genuine is welcoming and excited is just kind of very refreshing to her. Especially, I know Claire hasn't been gone long, but just I feel like that just roughness of everybody around is kind of nice. So she's just genuinely happy to meet somebody like him. But as you know, our group is bigger than just the two of us. And the picky of us are not even in attendance here. But some of these may be of interest, and like you said, some are probably within our price range and may be helpful soon, and others may be something to look forward to down the road. But we appreciate this and hope we can continue to help you guys and the family and the whole town, really. So we may have to come back. Are we free to come are you here most of the time?
I'm usually here during the day, yes.
Okay.
Tinkering away. The guards should recognize you. A gruff one. Maybe he's always, if I'm here, he's there.
Okay.
Unless one of us gets violently sick. So they'll recognize you now.
Did they take the coin?
Yes. This time they did.
Okay.
Also, Bardor, your passive is pretty good, right? I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's high.
18.
Okay. So you would have clocked at some point during this, up in the rafters, there's definitely a cloaked and hooded figure who's just sitting watching. Like perched up, looking down. Doesn't seem to be I mean, it's very, very hard to see. The way the light is, it's being sort of directed down into where the stock is. And so even though it's not a very tall building, the top of it is very dark. Whether that's naturally occurring dark or if there's something happening there is unclear. But there is a figure who's just up there in the shadows, perched on a rafter or something like that. Doesn't seem to have moved the entire time you've been there. Well, yes. By all means, go talk to your compatriots. And yes, if you have anything that you think would be of interest to us, you're certainly welcome to bring that forward as well. Clearly, we have an appetite for such things. So if it's something of interest that, whether it's some sort of storied item of the days of yore, or maybe whatever it happens to be.
Have you heard of the Great
There's an
Eska?
interest.
Legendary fighter.
No.
We have some relics of hers, so just...
Right. Yeah. Right. Maybe that she needs to get a little bit more renown before her name carries an awful lot of
just
weight
any
here.
renown, yeah, fair enough. She's fairly renownless. Much of her own choosing. But, yeah, so, okay. So you guys would be interested in maybe first look at buying if we happen to come across anything that we won't be using ourselves. And then do you your tinkering, do you create anything? Is it more just for entertainment or for use?
A bit of both. I'm still very much, I would say, in the early stages of my craft. Though I dare say probably better than the average person on the street already. I've created a number of rather fantastic clocks, for instance. The goal is still to find one that once started never needs to be rewound or so on. It's an ongoing challenge, but I'm working on it. That's what that mess is over there at the moment. Still trying to get that sort of perpetual vibe going. It's quite challenging. But yes, I mean, I certainly am always trying to think of new ways that I can create things. So, if there's something you think of that could be put together by my hands, by all means make suggestions. I can look into it.
Yeah, okay. Good to know.
I definitely do take commissions, mostly clocks, but that's just because people, would. One of my finest pieces is in the main sort of drawing room at Silk Turrets. So people see it and they're like, "Oh my goodness, that's a wonderful clock. Where did you get it?" And then I have to make them a clock too. It's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. But my intent is to branch out. But people keep seeing the clock, so here we are.
Well, yeah, I can't think of anything right now, but that's good. That's good to know. That maybe something that we could use your services down the road.
Excellent.
Yeah, Bardor, nothing we want to buy without meeting with the group, right? So, anything else?
There's a couple of things I have in mind, but
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you so
Groovy.
much. We, obviously these are big purchases. We have to talk them over, but we appreciate you showing us. And I do think you picked out some ones that would be specifically useful for us. So we'll keep you updated on our funding and get back to you.
Excellent. Well, yes, you know where we are. And we'll be happy to meet with you again at some point.
This was Kess, right? Kess.
Yes, Kess.
Yes or cat?
Ooh,
Kess.
Kes, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. That was successful. We didn't get ourselves into too much trouble. Or she doesn't know about the shadowy figure, but
Between now and next session, you can know what you're going to buy, and we can sort of hand wave the purchasing. That's not a problem. And then potentially have a bit of extra research done so that you're prepared for when you want to head out. And then that way we can just pick up with next session being, and you head out the gate, essentially.